Starting from quiet, you gradually understand yourself. Have peace. Be ready in any situation. You understand yourself to have fun. Find a reason for what you are doing so you don't get caught up in useless things. A breakthrough success always stems from a powerful subconscious reason. Peace is the fulcrum of all powerful reasons. Great people full of power started here. Starting from the present peace, you are completely strong enough to take on greater missions. And when that great mission rests on your shoulders, you will certainly add value to the path you sincerely build. Every morning when you wake up, take a deep breath and breathe gently. When you go for a walk, look up at the wide sky. Forgive yourself, because this vast universe contains all of our thoughts and stumbles. Forgive yourself for strength to rebuild, towards honesty. Forgive others for complicated circumstances. We take the next step to understand, for ourselves to be better. If possible, at this time send a good thing to the opposite person. Impermanent is a kind of peaceful and quiet state of mind, not competing for fame and gain. Impermanence is a kind of maturity, like ripe rice bowing. Impermanence is a kind of blessing, treating people with a heart as big as the ocean. Impermanence is a kind of temperament, noble and elegant. Impermanence is a kind of cultivation, accompanied by sincerity, honesty, tolerance, and generosity. Impermanence is a kind of realm, beautiful to the sublime, free from mundane. Impermanence is the miracle of mankind, a kind of joy, also a kind of happiness. Just like a stream, when merging with the sea, can it be deep and vast, calm and calm. Only then can it accommodate all things and can carry large boats. Things that are not perfect are obvious in life. We are always faced with the real challenge of mistakes. It's not easy to learn sharpness, and it's not always certain what's right with our conscience to fit in with this world. On the journey to find ourselves and keep the greatest things for ourselves, the truth is only proven and summarized through the things we do. Proving that truth sometimes takes half a century. Then we ourselves should not be in a hurry. Don't think too much about the incomplete. Walk like a free person. Having too many options inevitably leads to confusion. What people think is the most wonderful thing, at some point they will suddenly realize that it is not as it was at first thought. Some things are special only when they happen at the right time. There are also people who become special for coming and being near you at the right time. May you be strong enough to come out of your own pain. Be calm enough to understand the pain and suffering of others. If we have a distorted view of life because of suffering, please do something to make our mind and heart peaceful. Then let's love life again. The way to balance between work efficiency and life enjoyment is to do just enough. Work it out. Work with all your heart. When we slow down, that's when we live deeply, live meaningfully. Every working moment is every moment we feel life, not sacrificing ourselves to rush to work only to be knocked down and swept away by the work we love. True peace comes from within, when your mind no longer wants things to happen the way you want them to. It also means that you are not opposed to what happens against your will. Meditation can help you in this regard. Meditation is a practice that cultivates an awake mind, helping you to bring your mind back to the present to feel, instead of your mind always thinking about the past or the future. Meditation is to pay attention to each of our actions and gestures at all times, to observe each stream of our feelings or emotions. Practice meditation, how to put your mind in the right place, instead of letting it fly around disorganized or stir up defilements. When you tame your monkey mind, you will easily have peace. Although the outside environment is always fluctuating according to its nature, you are still at peace in your empty room. The road will be sometimes flat, sometimes bumpy, straight but also bendy. If your life path can't always be smooth, sing happily. Don't complain. Don't back down. But do good deeds without faltering. Keep moving forward. Surely every step on your life path will not be in vain. Life is inherently complicated. Who does not have troubles? Who has never suffered? Who can avoid distractions big and small? Because of the good hope in their hearts for a happy life, everyone leaves early at night, constantly making efforts, and is a resilient person who works in sweat and tears. Everyone has their own burden, so everyone works hard, step by step, racing against time every moment, unable to concentrate all mind and body. Perhaps human life is to live in a pool of suffering to be successful. Even if the road is full of storms and storms, you should smile and walk forward. Mind if the direction of sun will be peaceful and gentle. Suffering without telling is also a kind of wisdom. Suffering without saying is also a kind of cultivation. No matter how wide the river is, if you can cross to the other side, you will see the wind and calm waves. No matter how high the mountain is, if you can cross it, you will reach a place where the land is flat. No matter how deep the hole is, if you can jump over it, it will be smooth sailing. Believe that the car to the front of the mountain must have a road. The boat to the bridgehead is naturally straight. No matter how difficult life is, you should keep a cheerful attitude. Keep your heart full of hope and look to the future, believing that the most beautiful scenery is right on the road. If you don't experience rain and wind, how can you meet a rainbow? Without the harsh cold, how can the peach blossoms be fragrant? Sometimes, loneliness is an experience that can change you. When you're alone, you'll think more about yourself and be quiet enough to feel what's going on around you. It is said that only you can understand yourself best. The moment you feel alone is the right time for you to understand yourself thoroughly. That's when you started to grow up. In any romantic relationship, there will be times when you feel lonely in your own relationships. That feeling, like you get wet in the rain even though you have an umbrella, walking in loneliness, sadness, or joy is all alone. A lonely life to walk, not longing for anyone, not for anyone, but resentful when turning around. This world, like a rolling wave, how much impermanence in your life you pass through will teach you how to be alone in a life's journey. Over the years, we have been hurt a lot because we have not cultivated compassion within us. When our compassion is great, we see the sufferings of others. We want to look them in the eye. If we have something in our hands, we want to give it to them. When we have compassion, we recognize people who think differently than we do, pursuing their very own thoughts, worries, and hopes. There is no sky large enough to contain the pain of a closed person, nor air that is clean enough and abundant enough to heal a lonely heart. The world is always waiting to help you, but it can only be for once when you open your heart, receive a strange feeling. Mood is closely related to our happiness in life. Different people have different attitudes towards the same thing, which also determines how they lead a different life. When we look at life with a happy attitude, life will give us a clear blue sky. If we look at life with a gloomy outlook, it will surely bring a torrential downpour. Therefore, when there is sunshine in the heart, the rain also becomes inspiration. And when it rains in the heart, the sunshine also becomes murky. Human confidence and steadfastness are formed from countless events. There are always times when God gives us a hard time. On the contrary, in the most desperate moments, light sometimes flashes, as a signal that the universe gives to those who never lose their will. May you have enough joy and suffering, enough precious emotions, enough pain and compassion. People often picture peace as a joy and leisure, but over the past few thousand years, the truth of humanity has proved a very different story. Happiness is when we go through states of mind extreme, but still gentle with each step. Confidence and steadfastness. Hope these two things will be with you, accompanying you in difficult times, as well as when things have gradually formed. When you understand that adversity is an inevitable part of growing up, you will thank it instead of blaming it. As you cope with it, feel things that are overwhelming and find ways to turn things around. Your actions are slowly building up growth within you, and your understanding keeps you at peace throughout the process. People who live intellectually always focus on cultivating themselves. They know that is the most important thing. In life, At some point, we can take a lot of loss. But when we have not lost ourselves, everything still has a chance. As we cultivate our inner self and wisdom every day, the way will open up ahead. The wise man seeks understanding. They know that when they understand something, it will be in their hands. We cannot hold on to something that we do not understand, nor can we gain understanding without sincerely giving and sincerely experiencing. Just let the clouds fly in the sky. Let the flowers bloom on the mountainside. Feel this life, as beautiful as the way things are. Let your feet experience the sweetness and bitterness. Observe and keep walking. Let your feet hold its ground. Every difficulty and every break is a step that nourishes us with perseverance. Just go into life, as gently as wading in a river. Soft, sunny afternoons. Everything in life has a reason. Gently feel, everything is beautiful and gentle. All things in the world have to lose to gain. Abandoning contention will achieve peace and serenity. Abandoning distractions will achieve carefree. Abandoning hatred will gain joy. Abandoning the past will attain maturity. Life is a process of endless choices. Put down your afflictions and put hope in your heart. Whatever you do, keep a calm mind. When all the dust of the world subsides, the tumultuous days will return to silence. Only then do we really understand that letting go is also a choice. Perhaps all of us have had years of fumbling about, running in search of a harbor, a person good enough, understanding enough, loving enough, just as we once dreamed. We keep our heads down and look outward, tirelessly asking, where is that person? When will we meet? And we forget that the most worthy journey is not to find someone else, but to turn back and find ourselves. I used to be like that too. I once believed that if I met the right person, my life would burst into bloom. But after a few collisions with life, I realized we don't actually need to look for anyone. What we need most is to make our own being luminous and beautiful. When the heart is bright, the one who is worthy will naturally find their way to us. Every meeting in life arises from conditions. When conditions gather, we come together. When they disperse, we part. Yet whether those bonds are wholesome depends on each person's merit and heart. If our heart is chaotic, fearful, and lacking, we will draw in relationships that are mismatched, superficial, and burdensome. If our heart is calm, radiant, and lovely, those who come near will carry peace with them. Notice this: the emptier someone is within, the more desperately they cling to what's outside. The more hollow they feel, the more easily they are ensnared in love affairs with no way out. But those who are inwardly full emit a strange kind of energy. No inviting, no noise, and yet people are drawn to them all the same. As your heart is, so are the people you meet, a faithful reflection. If your heart is steady, you won't fear anyone's leaving. If your heart is kind, those beside you will not deceive. If your heart gives off light, those who approach will be the ones who know how to cherish. If you only search outside by appearances and sounds, you will find only illusion, never what is truly real. Love is like that too. There is no need to rush to search or to wait in weariness. Simply quiet yourself and illuminate your own being. Make yourself gentle, complete, able to love yourself. Once you can love yourself, you will no longer crave another to fill your emptiness. And strangely enough, at that very moment, the most fitting person, the bearer of a blessed affinity, will arrive on their own, as a natural result. Keep living peacefully. Be a decent human being. Cultivate your heart and nourish your merit day by day. Then one day, while you are busy living beautifully and caring for yourself, someone who is busy forging and refining themselves will come to stand beside you, very naturally, very lightly, without any need to cling. And if you are hoping to meet someone with whom you share the right affinity, don't forget to turn the question back to yourself. Have I become the person who is right for them? When the answer is yes, they will come at the most fitting time, in the most wondrous way. All the good things in the world do not exist because of anyone's personal will. When great souls blend with the Creator, every action follows the path, relying on Buddha nature. Caring for someone, come from the very best of them. It takes a lot of patience to care like that.